Hey you guys, Frieza here, and welcome to my first The Blender video. This time covering Frieza, and I hope I can tell you something that you didn't know already. So, first of all, I want to cover his mix and pressure in general. So I will stay in the normal form for that, but the main focus will be on his golden form, since I think he's a little bit underexplored. And most of the stuff can be used for both forms. So first of all, let's look at his frame data. So this 5L is first of all 6 frames, so it's one of the fast jabs. Pretty nice. Goes also, yeah, it has decent range for a 6 frame move. You can also do 5L 4L, but that's usual. But your opponent can jab out of it, of course. Next one is his 2L. He's got a low 2L, which is always nice, I think. And it's a 7 frame move, so really fast as well. It's -4. So pretty decent, I would say. Next I want to talk about is his M version. His 5M has a lot of range, as you can see. But it's one of the slower ones, with 30 frames, even right in your face, and it's -6. Not the best move, I'd say, but it's decent for what it does. The main thing I want to focus on is his 2M. It's 10 frames, so it's pretty fast for a 2M. But it's a lot slower if the first one doesn't connect, as you can see. His 2M is a 2-hitting move. And the great thing about this 2M is you can cancel the first hit into a 6M, for example. Or vanish, or whatever you want. But the most important part is actually the frame. The frames on this move. It's only -2, so you can stagger it really well. Of course your opponent can mesh out of it if he wants to, but it's really quite risky. This is only -2 on block, so you can stagger really good with Frieza, and you can actually use it really good for cross-ups, really well for cross-ups. I will talk more about that in a moment. First of all, let's talk about its 5H. It's awesome since it travels literally over the entire screen, but its frame data isn't the best. It's like it's -13, but you can cancel, of course, into other specials. Even as normal Key Blast, which is -4, not bad at all. And this one I wouldn't recommend using in block string. More likely, I'd say it's either ended with the Key Blast, or, which is also very nice, his energy discs. It's +2 on the first hit and +18 on the second hit. The only thing is you have a gap between the Key Blast and the energy disc that's huge enough for your opponent to jab you out of it. So I wouldn't recommend using it without assists, or you have used it so rarely that your opponent wouldn't expect it and then will respect you. But that's for you to decide if you want to take the risk or you don't. Next one is this 2-2S. You can use. It's a Key Blast property, so be careful using it. But it can be really helpful from time to time. And I can tell you, even in higher ranks, this will open up your opponent quite good, since it is a cross-up, and even in neutral it can come in quite handy. But I will talk about that when we come to the neutral section. Alright then, let's talk about his cross-ups. And I want to go golden for that, but keep in mind, he can do it even without his golden form. And I only want to use the golden form for that, since I want to show you his conversions of his cross-ups immediately. And the standard B&B combos with the usual Frieza should be known, I guess. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So first of all, I want to show you after his 2M. So you can see it's actually not that hard. The only thing I would really recommend you is press medium a little bit faster than you are used to with other characters. So Frieza's jumping medium is insanely far reaching, as you can see. So it takes a little bit longer time to come out. I guess that's the reason. I don't know, but it's definitely worth it, and you can catch your opponents so off guard with it. And while you're in golden, you can actually go for an insane combo, insane damage. The thing I did there isn't that high execution, I'd say, and the damage is still insane. You can also do that, you're not forced to do it after 2M. I would just recommend it since you are only -2. You can also do it after his stagger with 5L. I wouldn't recommend using it after the first 5L. It is possible to do the same thing I've just shown you, but it's really hard. But if you do 5L, 4L and do then the Crossup, it's much easier, and then you can do the exact same thing I've just shown you. Alright then. That's for the Crossup thing. Next one I want to talk about in his golden form. Golden Frieza actually defies the logic of the game. Meaning, usually you can only go into light, medium, heavy, special. That's it. But once Frieza is golden, he can do the so-called reverse speed. I show you what I mean. See that? Medium, medium, light, light. That's possible now. But the thing is, once you go back into the 5L, Frieza can't keep his block string going. Like I show what I mean. You see, even I mash 5L afterwards, only the first one will come out. But you can of course stagger and then immediately go into the next block string, which is really nice. And one thing you should always keep in mind with tick throw, Frieza really benefited from it, like insanely. He really likes this change. Since you have to keep in mind, you can tick throw after 5L, but it doesn't matter when the 5L appears. Usually all other characters can only do 2L, 5L Dragon Rush, but Golden Frieza has other plans. Like you can go here and then go directly after the medium into a 5L again, and then you can go into his Dragon Rush combo. And if you're in sparking, you can also do the sparking loops, and then you get like at least 7k damage if you ended with the level 3, which is insane. I'd say solo after Dragon Rush. Yeah. Next one I want to talk about is his 6M. Just as I've said, his 6M is already a lot stronger since you can cancel his 2M after the first hit, and most opponents won't fear 6M at that point, so it's pretty easy to open that up with that, I would say. And once you're in sparking, you can actually go into an insane combo for 6M, I'd say. I'll show you what I mean. So that's almost 5k damage off of a 6M. Violent sparking, of course, but that's the case. Like always, you have to be in sparking to convert off of a 6M. Yeah, that's the things I would recommend using with Frieza regarding his mix. It's really good, and what I would also recommend is Frieza's level 3. Sounds kind of dumb, like Breach level 3 isn't good for Orki in some sense or another, but Golden Frieza's is, or Frieza's in general is really good, since you can actually set up safely his discs and even if you are fighting a UI Goku, for example, and he does his unique wake up, you have still got enough time to block, so you can punish him without any problems. So Frieza versus level 3 is really good against UI Goku. Even if it goes against the popular opinion, you can trust me on that. I really like doing that a lot against UI Goku players, to switch into Frieza so I can pressure them with my level 3 Oki. Alright, next one I want to talk about is neutral. And I want to show it only in golden this time, since regarding Frieza's neutral, I think it's pretty common knowledge, since you have to rely on his neutral tools, which are really good, of course. But while you're in golden, a few things change. Like, for example, he can now double air dash, which is, once again, he defies the logic of the game. Really nice. And he's a lot quicker. Look at that. Insane. I would really recommend using that for disc pressure in neutral, for example. Like, you are in your opponent's face already. You have even enough time to do that. So, blocking Golden Frieza is a true nightmare. You can also do the usual stuff like you would do in normal Frieza's form. I would like to show you a conversion of his Ki Blast in discs, for example. If you decide to keep it traditional. As you can see, 4k damage of a Ki Blast without sparking or anything like it, so really good, I'd say. And while you're in sparking, it gets even better. Like, let me show you what I mean. So that's even over 4k damage after usual Ki Blast. So you see what I mean. His tools are getting really good once you're in golden. And use his neutral, use his incredible 5M, jump M. And just use his speed. Use his double air dash. Just be careful to be 2H'd. Like, a lot of opponents tend to just randomly 2H when you are in the air. You can also bait that with his standard Ki Blast in the air. Not standard Ki Blast, 2S in the air. So you get it. And just for some good measure, let me end this video with a nice TOD. With Golden Frieza, of course. Alright then, so this concludes my first video of the Blender edition. I hope you liked it. If you've got any questions, please let me know in the comment sections. Take care. Bye bye.